And if they judge you, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter, because guess what? You are the main star of your story, and they could think it's cringe right now, but you're gonna be a famous actress in your own story. If you clicked on this vlog, I'm assuming that you are trying to figure out ways to romanticize your life a little bit more and to be more of the main character of your story, to be the Disney princess, to be the heroine, to be the hero, to be the person that you read about in your books, that you see in your TV shows and movies. Here are a few mindset and lifestyle changes to help you romanticize your life better. Let's break it down. I'm gonna give you a few mindsets to take with you that has helped my day-to-day in me being able to fully really romanticize how I see things in the world and the little moments that I appreciate even more now. Number one, you have to change your habits. Let me set an example. You grew up in a home where during Christmas time, you did not do gingerbread houses. You didn't do the tradition of caroling all together by a piano. You didn't do these things growing up. So fast forward to now and you have a family, or fast forward to the future. Think about it. You have a family and you have the chance to be able to create those traditions, but you end up not really doing anything different and romanticizing it even more because that's all you didn't know that. You didn't know how to do that. So with this, you need to change your habits and what you think is possible. Because first of all, if you want to romanticize, for instance, we're talking about Christmas, right? If you want to romanticize those moments more, you can do a gingerbread tradition, gingerbread house decorating tradition. If there's some things in your life where, you know, you're like, oh, I don't do that. That's not me. It can be you. So you romanticizing your life of like, oh my gosh, no, like I don't listen to like, you know, classical music in the morning while getting ready. That's just not me. That's not how I do things. It can be you. That's the thing, is that you have to rewire your systems and your foundation and some of the things that you believe in yourself, because there's a lot of things, even personally for me, that I really close off and I'm like, this is the ceiling, but I have practice in my life to be able to move that ceiling up and make it the possibilities endless, right? Because you can do those things. If you want to, you know, become more independent, start ballet classes because you've never done ballet, but you want to romanticize your life that way. Like at 27 years old, 28, 30, whatever age you are, you can, and you do have the ability to start those ballet classes. You just have to rewire your thinking. You have to rewire what you think you're capable of, or what your brand is in a way, because I really like project a lot of the things that I want to be seen as. So for instance, I want to be seen as like a person with really cute style, really cute interior decor, like this kind of like British vintage style person. And personally, like imposter syndrome, I feel like I'm not truly that yet. Like there's some things that I can envision like to do more of in the future. However, a lot of people, like a lot of my friends, say that I already embody that. And there's reasons why. Because first of all, I talk like I'm there. Like I talk like I do have that style. I use my Pinterest boards to decorate my apartment. And so from that, it transfers over to my actual apartment. There's just little different things like that that you can actually put into movement to be able to romanticize who you are as a person. So basically, it's rewriting the rules that you've been living on. Start swapping out the routines that you're used to maybe things that like maybe give you a little bit of excitement, where you're like, oh my gosh, I just the tiniest bit, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm gonna put on some Disney princess classical music and get ready and pretend that I'm, you know, Rapunzel getting ready with all the little bugs and birds and all that flying around singing to me. Because you can do that. You might think that like, oh my gosh, that sounds crazy. Well, guess what? You're not gonna romanticize your life if you keep thinking that way. Okay, number two. Ruth is gonna say hi. This is one of my ragdoll cats, Ruth. She really wants attention right now. But number two, music is so important. So I know we talked about some examples of using classical music, like getting ready in the morning. However, you can use it on so many things. So you know how you make those Pinterest boards for those specific parts of your life? So for instance, corporate style, going on that trip, going to that specific place, living in a specific place. You can do that with music as well. Now I'm gonna show you an example of how music makes a difference, because I could like tell you all these things, but just take a break. Look at this. two totally different vibes. Which one was your favorite vibe? Was it with music? Was it without music? Now think about watching one of your favorite movies ever and taking away that soundtrack in the back. You don't really notice it, but it really does evoke a lot of emotion. And so I feel like when you evoke that kind of emotion that's like above your foundation layer for the day, that's what romanticizing is. Whenever at night, sometimes when I want to read, what I do is I turn down the lights, I turn on these sconces right here that have like a really soft, warm light, and then I go on YouTube and I find some like cottagecore, classical music, and like, you know, reading in a cafe, reading in the forest, some kind of thing. And having that in the background as I read enhances everything. It's such an amazing time. Like my emotions are a little bit more evoked than like what it would be at a standard day to day. Number 3 is actually noticing the little moments. If you've ever watched any of my past vlogs, my B-roll, where I'm like zooming in on a pot of tea and me making it, I'm writing in my journal, all close up. You can see me doing my little scribbles. I am walking through a city, looking around, taking in the views and the sights. That on my vlog, you can do in real life. You may like feel really silly, especially like in a city, looking around and like taking in the sights and like pretend. Remember when you were a child and you would like look out the window and sing a song in the back seat, pretending you were in a movie? We need more of that. That needs to occur more in your life. Don't think it's cringy. Don't think that you can't do it, because you can and you should. You should. It's not just like you being able to, you know, physically, mentally, like you can do it. However, you should. I recommend it, because when that happens, like you just step into this separate part of your life where you're the main character. You're like, I'm the star of a movie. This music is playing. I just broke up with my boyfriend, so I'm putting on Gracie Abrams, and this could be like a movie scene in a movie. You can even think of that too. You're like, okay, what can I do today that could be possibly filmed in a TV show or movie? Why not look at it that way? We're always rushing to the next thing, but taking a step back, looking at the little moments. Like for right now, I can actually point out one thing I could romanticize right now. Phoebe is right here laying down, one of my ragdoll cats. My other ragdoll cat is looking out the window for birds. How I would romanticize this moment is I would turn off all my electronics. I would not look at my phone. I would not be scrolling on TikTok, right? I would maybe turn on a little bit of classical music in the background, like Pride and Prejudice kind of vibe. And I would sit here and lay with Phoebe and Ruth and look out at the sky and just really take notice of them and like really be in the moment with them. And this is a little moment that literally I could have passed by, but you have to take the time to like really think about what is present around you at the moment and maximize on it. Maximize on it. Like, life is so short, and there are so many moments in the day that we totally pass by that like we could really focus on. So gratitude and being in the moment, that is how you romanticize your life and how you feel good. Like you feel like the main character, and you feel like you could be like the lead star of the TV show or movie. Act a little. Be a little bit of an actress. No one's around watching you. Or if you have friends or you have a boyfriend or girlfriend like around, who cares? They're gonna love you no matter what, hopefully. Hopefully you're with people who are gonna love you no matter what. But like you can just be like, yeah, I'm just romanticizing right now. And if they judge you, who cares? Who cares? It doesn't matter, because guess what? You are the main star of your story, and they could think it's cringe right now, but you're gonna be a famous actress in your own story. Number 4, you should dress for the day. You should dress for the mood that you want. Whenever I am reading, right, that example I showed you of me reading, putting on some classical music, turning on my sconces light, the warm ambience light, I put on like a sweater, I put on some pants, like all that stuff. And you know what I do sometimes? Sometimes I imagine, okay, I'm like the cute girl in the rom-com, like laying down and reading a book, and I kind of think about like a cute outfit that I would like to see on like in a novel, on the screen, like on TV, and I kind of curate it that way, where I'm like, I could be that person. I could literally be that person doing that right now. It's just no one's in here filming, and it's just me, and it's a moment with myself. I'm a really, really big believer to romanticize your life. You do not need an occasion to dress nice or to dress up. Also, I'm a big believer that Sometimes you do not need to text your friend group and being like, what are y'all wearing? What are y'all wearing? You know? I think a lot of romanticization comes with independence and finding that strength of, I know what I'm gonna do in a way, and like, I'm confident with like my choices, and just being able to romanticize it without anyone's judgment of, okay, I'm going to wear this dress out, even though like people might not be super dressed up. It's okay to do that. Like for instance, I was at dinner with my 2 girlfriends last Saturday night. One of my friends and I, we were walking up to the restaurant, and we were sort of dressed up a little bit because we wanted to go out, we wanted to take some cute pictures, we wanted to have a reason, you know, to dress up and do your hair, do your makeup, all that. And I remember like my friend Reagan, she was like, oh, that person's in Crocs right now and, you know, like Adidas sweats. And I was like, yeah, like that's like funny, you know, because like we are so dressed up and there's such a contrast in comparison, but that's okay. And that's what made us romanticize the night and like have like a really fun girls' night, because we were willing to step out and not really look at what other people are dressing as, like looking at, you know, oh, this is like casual wear, like looking at the restaurant. We weren't even looking at the dress code or anything like that. We were like, no, we're gonna dress up and we're gonna have like a really fun night and make it a purpose to do so, and heightening what our foundation of an experience could be. I want to say that you should break routines, look into some routines that you do that you sort of just settled with but don't really realize it. For instance, my going back to that Christmas example, like there are some things that we do traditionally for Christmas, but there are some things I have ideas like I do want for my kids, and I'm going to be able to like romanticize it there. Just know that you can do that. You can break habits. If you wake up at 7 a.m. every morning to go to work, but you want to start adding a little bit more, you know, of those tinier moments in your life, if you maybe start waking up at 6:30 or even 6:45 to take more time to like make your coffee, have music on in the background, read, journal, make it your time in that independent time to be able to sit back and be like, ooh, like I feel like I could be a star in a movie, or it's just a little bit different from the foundation. It's just a little higher up. Those feelings that you evoke that aren't like comfortable. It's a little bit more like, oh, I'm not used to this. This is really cool because I'm not used to this, and like it's like a little treat. It's like when you light a candle. It's like when you're reading with the sounds. It's when you are listening to some music, looking out the window, looking at the sunset and how it like trickles down on the skyline. It's little things like that that you just start noticing, start appreciating, and start putting into your life and be like, yeah, I drove this morning and that could have been like in a TV show, on a movie. To close it off, change your habits, set your soundtrack for your life, get to making those playlists for different things that you do throughout the day, throughout the weekend, set time for yourself, and just show a lot of gratitude for the little moments, even if it just makes you think a little bit harder on certain things that are happening in your life at the moment, and appreciate the little things that you can hold on to. You're the main character of your story. Start acting like it. Bye y'all. See you next week.